Hello, Dee Hennessy here from Mindful Facilitation, and you are so welcome to this short video on being with difficult emotions. This video is part of the Encouraging Minds workshop series, promoting library supports within local communities. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Kilkenny County Council Library Service for making this possible, and also Dormant Accounts and the Department of Rural Community Development for funding. And so to begin our time together, I invite you to a short practice of 1 minute of mindful breathing. So wherever you are right now, just taking this moment to press the pause button. And as I ring the bell, the only thing we need to do is listen to the sound of the bell. And so as the sound of the bell begins to fade away, just becoming aware now of wherever you are sitting. Feet on the floor, the body supported by the chair, and taking a moment then to decide what to do with the eyes. So you might prefer to keep your eyes open. You might like to lower the gaze, or you might prefer to close the eyes. And just noticing now the breath in the body. So no need to breathe in any special way. We're just seeing if it might be possible to notice the breath. Maybe finding that place where you most notice your breath. It could be the tip of the nose, maybe in the nostril, maybe the upper lip, or in the throat, or the chest, or further down in the belly. Just where do you most sense the breath? And then seeing if we can rest there. Just noticing the breath coming into and out of this part of the body where we most feel the breath. So just noticing this breath. And as we become aware maybe of a busy mind, a strong emotion, or a sensation in the body, nothing wrong here at all. Maybe even congratulating ourselves on noticing what is here now. And then intentionally just coming back to this breath. Maybe seeing if we can stay with the breath for the full duration of one breath. The breath coming in and the breath going out. And finally taking 3 deep intentional breaths. Breathing in, nice and long and slow, and breathing out, nice and long and slow. Breathing in a sense of peace, and on the out breath, letting go even a little. Breathing in a sense of peace, and on the out breath, releasing or letting go even a little. Becoming aware again now of the feet on the floor, the body on the chair, and when you're ready, lifting the gaze or opening the eyes. So we know from neuroscience that taking even 1 minute, 60 seconds of mindful breathing, particularly in a moment where we're dealing with a difficult emotion or high stress, can really help us to regulate. It gets our brain in touch with the parasympathetic nervous system, which in turn releases the calming hormone oxytocin, floods the body with this so that we come to a sense of calm. So a great thing to practice is that 1 mindful minute of breathing, so that when we're in that difficult moment, we can draw on it. I want to give 5 tips for being with difficult emotions. Tip number 1 is cultivating self-compassion. Again, we know that this is not softness. This is in fact a superpower. It's a hardcore resilient tool which helps us to forge new neural pathways in the brain, which in turn releases helpful hormones that find us, allows us to be calmer, to come back to baseline, to self-regulate, even in moments of extreme difficulty. So developing the muscle of self-compassion is a really useful tip. Secondly, understanding that suffering and pain and difficult emotions are part of life. And so even though I may feel that I'm the only one suffering in this moment, it is part of the human condition. And so we share that in some way with our common humanity. And related to that is a third tip. So even in the moment of extreme difficult emotion, I can know that this too will pass. This too will pass. Final tip. In the moment of deep, difficult emotion, it is really important to, as best I can, allow myself to notice this pain. To say maybe to myself some compassionate phrase like, "This is really difficult. I'm really finding this hard. I'm really hurt by this." Finding a phrase or a form of words that works for you. And when you're in that extreme, difficult moment, up against it with a difficult emotion, of being able to self-soothe in a way, which again is not a soft, doormat type activity. It's a hardcore resilience tool, which will be helpful in allowing us to sit with and come through and self-regulate in moments of deep, difficult emotion. So finding the words that work for you and then using those words in those moments of difficulty. This is really hard. I really hate this. I'm finding this really difficult to bear. And if you can bear it, as you're saying those words, maybe placing a hand on your heart or on some part of the body. We know again from neuroscience that the brain is soothed by touch. Just something about the warmth of touch can help us in that moment of difficulty. So I hope you find something of use there the next time that you find yourself dealing with a really difficult emotion. I want to finish with a short version of another practice, well accepted within the mindfulness community as being enormously helpful in dealing with difficult emotions. This practice is called RAIN. Recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So just assuming an alert and dignified pose, feet on the floor, back straight but not stiff. We're going for a feeling of strength in the back, maybe thinking like a strong tree trunk, and a soft and open front. And just tuning into the breathing, just noticing the breath just as it is right now in the body. And then allowing to come on the workbench of the mind, if you like, a difficulty that you're having right now. Some area of difficulty or unease. Just bringing it into awareness. And then the first step, recognizing that this is here. Second step, allowing it to be. So our normal response in a moment of pain is to push it away. Seeing if it might be possible to allow this to be. For now, this is here. The third step in RAIN is investigating. So maybe noticing where in the body do I experience this difficulty? What does it feel like? And being careful and kind to ourselves as we do this. So I may be able to allow myself to feel it a little, and then I may need to pull back. And so with the practice of RAIN, I learn to be with and to investigate over time. So taking it gently, with maybe some level of investigation. Where do I feel this in my body? And then the fourth step in RAIN is nurturing. So asking myself, what do I need now? Being kind to myself. This is difficult. Showing compassion for myself in this moment. So this practice of RAIN, R-A-I-N, recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture, is something that I can begin to do if I'm living with difficult emotions, or I find myself coming up against difficulties in my life. It's counterintuitive, I know, but somehow we know from mindfulness that being able to recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture the difficulty is much healthier and helps me to cope much better than ignoring or stuffing down or trying to push through. And at the heart of it all is that sense of compassion. So just for now, moving away from that difficulty that we were exploring through RAIN, but I invite you to try this again. Gently and step by step, learning to recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. Till next time, I wish you peace.